Hey, yo, guys, how is it going? Tally here, and today I'm going to bring you what I learned from 100 duels with Salamangreats. Now, this has got a little bit of how to play, a little bit of siding strategy, and an overall chat about the game plan for games 1, 2, and 3. Now, ultimately, this is going to be aimed at more beginners to the deck or intermediates because I think there's a lot of meta players who have a lot of high level experience that I don't have yet. This isn't for them, but for you guys new to the deck, it's definitely for you. Now, my socials are on screen. If you want to support the channel, please hit hashtag for the algorithm down in the comments, please like the video, and join Team Tally to subscribe. Now, let's dive in. Alright, let's talk a generalised game plan. Salamangreat are a deck that are all about controlling pace and setting up a resource loop that allows you to build advantage, then go for the kill once you've taken that advantage. The deck has a small consistent engine, and that means you can fill the deck with hand traps, even floodgates, to help you combat the meta at hand. Alright, let's get a little bit more specific now. Okay, so thinking about game 1, Salamangreat want to go first and set up the Gazelle resource loop, which pretty much means that you dump a card with Gazelle's effect, then you retrieve that card that you sent to the graveyard and Gazelle with Sunlight Wolf's effect, allowing you to set up negates and interruptions on your opponent's turn. Then you can continue to use Gazelle's effect to summon itself when a Salamangreat is sent to the graveyard, sending a card to the graveyard, and then again getting those cards back with Sunlight Wolf's effect. Ultimately, over time you should build up a lot of resources and a lot of interruptions. Then, once you continue to accrue resources with this loop, you can go for the kill on your opponent, or the likelihood is they'll scoop since you have too much advantage for them. A big part of this loop is effectively understanding what card to send at the right time. By doing this, you can continue that loop, continue your momentum, and accrue more resources. Between this and your hand traps, you should be able to out-resource your opponent and go for the kill when you feel comfortable. Now, for game 2 and 3, you want to get that side deck in play, and side accordingly based on what you know about your opponent's deck. Also, you do have to think about a couple other things though. So let's talk about going second. Alright, so are you going second, and against what? Is it a control deck? Then maybe side out some of your hand traps, like Nibiru, maybe like your effect failures, okay? If it's a mainly back row based deck, and then side in the back row hate. Are you going second versus a combo deck though? Maybe side out some of your floodgates from the main deck and side in more hand traps. Or, if you're siding to go first, then what you should be doing is stacking your deck with as many unfair cards as possible. Okay, you could have cards like Summon Limit or Solemns against combo decks to really slow them down. And then for our control decks, again you guessed it, lots of back row hate that you can set, and when they try and end their turn, you can pick apart their back row to ensure that they don't get the advantage on your turn. Now, side decks are going to change from format to format and even from area to area based on your local meta, so always ensure that you have the right side deck for your circumstances. But if you're worried about side decking at all, I'm going to hit you with some generic options that are pretty much always pretty decent, so let's talk about them. Card number 1 for cards that you should definitely be siding, and this card is a mandatory if you're not already maining it, is Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. It's been a staple in the Salamangreat deck in some way since it came out, since it allows the deck to fix hands and gain advantage over link spam decks, meaning you can draw into more hand traps or key engine pieces. In any meta that features a lot of links, this card is an absolute must play. Next on our list of side cards we have a Pointer of the Red Lotus. This beautiful piece of hand destruction comes with a minimal cost and allows you to gain not only information, but also in an effort to slow your opponent down, you can snipe their key cards out of your opponent's hand. So you can hit engine pieces, you can hit their important one-offs, or even you can protect your own board by hitting cards like Lightning Storm, Evenly Matched, or anything else that you consider a genuine threat. A Pointer of the Red Lotus, while it's not incredibly budget, if you can pick it up, I reckon you should pick it up. Our next siding suggestion is just more hand traps. Alright, now this does depend on your meta and also your budget as well, but thankfully, due to a lot of reprints, there's a lot of budget hand traps these days. Now, in the same idea as being able to load up on traps and floodgates going first, if you're forced to go second, then the deck is capable of accommodating even more hand traps. From our Ghost Girls, to things like Effect Veiler if you're not maining it, to DD Crow, and more cards than I can really think about, this deck is really able to fit in any hand trap that lets it get an advantage over the current meta. So, If you don't have the budget for things like Phantasme, this applies as well, just more hand traps really. Now the next cards that we should consider siding are just generic floodgates. The 3 that I would pick personally though are Goes in Match, Rivalry of the Warlords and Summon Limit. Now, Salamangreat cares about slowing your opponent down, so these generic floodgates can slow your opponent down until you've either outed their cards or built enough resources to go for an explosive kill. A fun play that I like to do is with Foxy. Alright, so Foxy has a graveyard effect that allows it to special summon itself and then destroy a face-up spell or trap card, provided that there is a continuous spell or trap card on the field. So what you do is you give it a little bit, you know, give it a couple turns to build up a little bit of momentum from your side, and then you use Foxy to start that push, destroying the floodgate on your turn, and then being able to go into a card like Access Code Talker through your extra deck plays. It's a tasty little play if you ask me. Alright, so the last side deck suggestion I'm going to hit you guys with is just generic back row hate. Now, Salamangreat are capable of using cards like Evenly and Lightning Storm, but they are primarily going second cards, so I find that cards like Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twister are really flexible when you're going up against a back row heavy deck. Not only can you use them going second, but you can also set them going first to prevent your opponent from being able to set up their back row plays. Also, Cosmic Cyclone comes at pretty much no cost, as 1000 life points is nothing, and it's a direct 1-for-1, so that's not bad in terms of your resource game. Whereas Twin Twisters, it also comes with the benefit of a discard. Now, that's not always amazing, but since our Salamangreats love being in the graveyard, that discard can actually come in handy. But for right now's meta, with our Eldritch decks, I would recommend probably Cosmic Cyclone, or if you're forced to go second, Evenly, since it gets them face down banished, or just banished in general, meaning that your opponent cannot get the extra effects from them. Guys, that is the video. Thank you very much for watching today, and I would love to know your feedback down below. Now, while I have taken the crash course in Salamangreats and done 100 duels with this deck, I find I've still got a lot to learn, and I probably will take the deck to more tournaments in future to get you guys some really good information. Now, as always, if you like the video, make sure to give it a like, and if you love it, give it a share and tell everyone you know about Team Tally today. And if you're new here and you want to join Team Tally, hit that subscribe button. My socials are on screen, and if you want to support the video, make sure to like it, and make sure to comment #for the algorithm. Now guys, as always, you have been fantastic. I have been Tally. I will catch you all later. Bye.